You most likely want to better yourself, but find yourself looking at other people that might have a more luxurious life than you or maybe more fit than you. So with this, you become upset with who you are and say, I will never be like them. Comparison is a completely natural thing that everyone does. And you will always be comparing yourself to others, but what if you flip that to a positive instead of a negative? In this video, I will give you the ways to stop overthinking about how you fit into this world and more about how you can better yourself. The first thing we need to do is flip the narrative. Regardless of who you are, you have the ability to achieve what others are achieving. No more excuses, no more trying to point the blame on why you can't achieve it. The only reason you are not where you want to be is you. It's those times when you're not disciplined enough, when you felt tired, or when you binge watch TV all day instead of actually doing something. You must hold yourself accountable. So when you see someone living the life you want to live, contemplate and ask yourself, how did they get there? Study this, analyze this, and create a similar plan to achieve what they achieve. The second thing we need to do is compare ourselves to our past. Instead of comparing yourself to others around you, start comparing yourself to yourself. Instead of using comparison to beat ourselves down, use it as a way to see how you are improving and if you are improving in any way. Use comparison as a tool to better yourself every single day. Look back on what you did every day and ask yourself, did I do better today than I did yesterday? Compare what you did each day and see if you did better. This is similar to the term kaizen, which is a Japanese term for continued improvement. Pretty much improving by 1% every single day. I have this on a bulletin board in my room, and it gives me the motivation and the understanding of I need to continue to improve. I need to do better every single day. You may also be thinking to yourself, what if I have an off day? What if I mess up? What if I don't make that 1% improvement? First thing I need you to do is just relax. Accept that you made a mistake. Accept that you had an off day. It's not the end of the world. Focus and ask yourself this question. How did this happen? I recommend writing this down and find a plan to avoid making this mistake again. This way, even though you may be upset about the off day, the off week, the off month that you had, you have a plan to bounce back. You have a plan to come back even stronger than you were before. Third thing we need to look at is comparison versus competition. If you are like me, you're a very competitive person, competing in pretty much anything. I personally look towards my generation and my age range because there's so many people that are struggling and are not in this motivated mindset that it's pretty easy for me to compete.
You just gotta grind. Yeah. I feel like this next generation that's coming up, and I don't mean to smash all of them, but they seem like a bunch of pussies to me, you know? So, because of that, there's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a fucking savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man. For the small group of savages out there, run these fucking kids right over.
It's pretty easy for me to try and achieve things and have this motivation and drive when there's not many people that are actually driven. I'm pretty competitive in sports, academics, whatever it is, I'm pretty competitive. If it's video games, everything. So how does comparison and competition intertwine? When we are trying to compete with someone, we usually analyze their skills and what they do, their knowledge of certain things. In some way, you are comparing your skills to theirs. And this is a healthy way to see where you are in the world and your competition. But you must be careful not to bash yourself and say, look what he can do, I can never do that. Don't put someone on a pedestal because they have a skill that you haven't learned yet. Instead, focus on what you can do that they can't. And if you want to learn a skill from them, if you want to learn something that they can do, try and study it. Study what they do and try to implement it into your life. Some people may think this is harsh or very extreme. And listen, I get it. It's hard to use the word competing with everyone else. But in reality, a lot of the people that are driven to better themselves are competing with each other. If you have two people that are both very driven people trying to get one job, the other one is competing with the other. And it comes down to the skills, the knowledge, the qualities that that person has to achieve that job. In order for us to learn about how we can improve ourselves and how we can learn different skills, we need to learn from others around us, how they are learning these things. Whenever you have a thought that someone is better than you, ask yourself, what can I do that that person can't? You will have so many different thoughts that come to mind that that person can do. And if they have a skill you want, learn it. Learn what they have learned. If they learned it in this modern time, you can do it too. We also live in an age where anyone could just lie about the life that they have. Whenever you see a post on Instagram about someone who is more fit than you or someone that has a more luxurious life than you, use that as also a motivation as to if they did it, I can as well. No one is just born with incredible skills. Tom Brady didn't come out just being great. He learned a skill. Same thing with every other skill that needs to be learned. They earned it, they worked for it, and they grinded for it for a very long time to achieve it. You can do the exact same. All you need to do is actually try and find the drive that you need. You, the viewer, may be thinking, I don't have these kind of skills, and these skills are too hard to learn, whether it's athletics, whether it's academics, whatever it is, I guarantee you have the ability to learn it. Sure, you may have different qualities, you may have different kind of things genetically, but anyone can learn these things. All it does and all it takes is actually trying, actually putting in the work to do it. Another thing with this is if I told you that if you work for 30 years straight on something you're truly passionate about, you will succeed 100%, no risk. You would probably be like, hell yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to continue to do it because I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve. The only problem with these things is that there's risk. There's risk of wasting 30 years on something you're passionate about. There's risk financially and all these other things. And I get it, that's life. You don't know what's going to come up in the future. But what you need to do is find the faith in yourself and find the skills that you have and pursue those. Whatever you have a passion for, you can do it and continue to do it. The only thing that people do is give up right at the end when they could possibly keep going. You need that drive and you need to possess it. You need to hold that within you as your meaning, as your purpose. So with this, use comparison as a tool for yourself to learn about what you can do, what you can achieve, what you want to pursue, and use that comparison to other people to improve. If another person is more social than you, if another person is more fit than you, learn that and say, hey, look at them, they're doing this and this and this, they have these unique abilities, I want to learn how to do that. That person learned it from somewhere, so what's stopping you from being another person? You are fully capable of achieving absolutely anything you want. So stop getting in your own way. Go full speed ahead of what you want to achieve. I know that you will do this. I know that you have a passion for this. I know that you're feeling all these different challenges and obstacles coming your way. You feel like it's not worth it. You feel like it's not worth pursuing. Trust me, you will feel so happy actually trying to do it. I hope this video helped you in any way possible. Like always, my friends, always embrace the journey.